Well, good morning, Texas. Haven't heard from your president. Has he even made an announcement on social media? He cuts all of the funding to the things that are going to keep people safe.
Donald Trump's cuts to the National Weather Service are already causing harm, as Texas officials say forecasts did not prepare them for the amount of rain that they received. Now, if you missed it, there is serious flooding in parts of Texas right now. People have lost their home, there are still people missing, and the recovery is going to take a very long time.
Children are gone. Children are missing in Texas. The floods have done significant damage, and there's loss of life because there's been so many significant cuts by the Trump administration, by Trump himself.
The meteorologists in that region had been let go. With the first bullshit things that Donald Trump was giving people incentives to retire from key positions that would what? Save our lives.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Believe me, if Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote.
Hi, what's up, beautiful people? I'm Kodene Soita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, kindly, if you're new here, subscribe to this channel, put on the notification button so that you get notified whenever I post a video. And it's a sad video today. We're going to be reacting on what is happening in Texas. A catastrophic has hit Texas. Texas is in water. Texas is submerged in water. People have died. Kids have died. People are displaced, guys. And we are yet to find out if Trump has released any report yet. So watch this video to the end and let me know what you think about what is happening in America. He had to cut all the essential funds that will have mitigated the weather and everything. He had to cut them all. So let me know what you think about this video down below in the comment section. So I'll be coming with more commentary.
Children are gone. Children are missing in Texas. The floods have done significant damage, and there's loss of life. And the thing I find most interesting is that Texas officials immediately are kind of blaming the National Weather Service. And the National Weather Service currently is in a skeleton schedule. I don't even know if it's open 24 hours a day anymore because there's been so many significant cuts by the Trump administration, by Trump himself. The National Weather Service has been decimated by the Trump administration. So when you all cry and rightfully bow your heads because we have lost children, just understand where the responsibility is. And I don't want to hear any excuses, none, because the facts are all there. The Trump administration has decimated the National Weather Service. It's a skeleton crew. And this is what happens. Things like this happen when you decimate an organization like that. They can't do their job. And then people lose their lives. And then people are going to be looking around wondering why. You don't have to wonder. We all know. We all know exactly.
They say after every tragedy, it is not the time for politics. But if you can't understand that politics are part of everything we do, it's because you're not paying close enough attention. Especially right now, as Donald Trump's cuts left NOAA and NWS down hundreds of scientists, resulting in a 17% reduction in weather balloon launches nationwide. Balloons being the single most important source of scientific data as we predict the weather. And as we look at Trump's even deeper cuts to weather research in 2026, now is absolutely the time to understand what happened in Texas, so we know who exactly exactly is to blame for this. So I spent the morning doing as much research as possible, and I connected with a meteorologist who understood what happened in Texas. He confirmed the opposite. NWS did prioritize balloon launches in that area. There was not a balloon launch missed because they were doing their jobs right. They did predict heavy rain, and they did issue flood warnings hours in advance. And because of their work, over 850 people were successfully evacuated despite this being a middle of the night emergency. Yet because this was in the middle of the night, and because the local officials have not built in any kind of advanced warning system, no sirens and no alarms, we still ended up seeing a loss of life. Yet this is what Republicans are going to do because it's what they always do. They'll scapegoat the scientists at NWS and NOAA, just like they did with FEMA in the Southeast before taking $500 million to use for migrant camps in Florida, and they'll use it as an excuse to justify even deeper cuts to these critical scientific agencies. But in reality, Republicans have no way to spin this, because they're either complaining that NWS alerts were inefficient, only months after obliterating staffing and research at NWS, directly taking blame for this horrific coal-powered natural disaster, or they admit that the dedicated scientists at NWS are doing everything within their power to protect the public from these kinds of disasters despite the abuse they've suffered at the hands of Trump. And because of the work of these scientists, hundreds of lives were spared. But Republicans want to defund and fire them anyway, virtually guaranteeing that tragedies like this increase in frequency and severity indefinitely into the future.
All of the people in Texas who have died because of this flood, how many people are still missing? All of the property damage. But nope, not a tweet for you guys. None. That's because the alleged president doesn't care about you. Donald Trump doesn't care about the citizens of this country. He only cares about himself, his family, and his little billionaire buddies, and how they can line their pockets, cutting everything in this country that citizens need to survive. The Weather Service, NOAA, all of these things, FEMA. Who's going to help you rebuild? Who? The damn man hasn't even acknowledged you. Hasn't even acknowledged you. But yeah, happy 4th to you, right? Happy 4th of July. You gotta be kidding me. And you people fall for his bullshit. Line after line and time after time. The man does not care about this country. He only cares about the billionaires. He only cares about how anything benefits him. The rest of us and the rest of this goddamn country, we are disposable. Anyway, it's just another friggin' day in Trump's America. Like, share, follow for more. This is Grim with Get the Rant, and I'll see you all in the...
So guys, a disaster has hit the people of Texas. Texas is now submerged in water. People are crumbling, people are screaming, people are yelling, people are angry, people are agitated right now, and the whole America is in panic. You know, and the mere fact that we are being told like Trump has not acknowledged or has not given any reports on what is happening in Texas, because he knows that the National Weather Service doesn't have funds. The funds that usually are usually allocated to the National Weather Service were cut short, and now the National Weather Service, that is NWS, it's left in this, it's right now in this method, and that's the reason why now the floods have come, and they don't know how to mitigate these floods right now, because the only thing that they use for weather forecast to see if there's a catastrophe that is gonna happen to the country, like there is if they're gonna be receiving a lot of rain and all that, it's money. And when this money that it's supposed to go to a certain organization, it's cut off. That's why you see a lot of people losing their lives. And in this video, in this sad video, we have seen how water plunged in most of the houses. We have seen the river surging. We have seen the properties destroyed. And to make it so painful is the kids that are missing right now. Oh my God. My condolences to everyone who have lost their loved ones. You know, it's very sad. Guys, people of the United States of America went out there in large numbers and voted for Trump. They elected Trump for the second time. You understand? He was there, then Biden came and overtook him. Then he came for the second time with that song of Making America Great Again. Making America Great Again is not cutting the Medicare and Medicare from the people of America, cutting funds allocated to the NWS. That doesn't make America great again. That does not make America great again. And every time a catastrophe like this one happens, should we always be blaming politics or politicians? Should it be a political game? It has to be a political game. This man has got money. He has a lot of money. He cares. The only thing he cares about is his children and his billionaire buddies, or he listens to people like Steve Miller. You saw the case of Steve Miller. He was he owns a part in the IC organization. There's a lot of money that he gets from that group, the ICE or whatever. And now those are the people that Trump listens to. He doesn't care about the people who voted for him, who put him into office. Trump's administration has really let the people of America down. And what we are saying right now, it's not right at all. It's sad, guys. It's sad. And I know he's somewhere in his room and wondering how he's going to address the people of America. I'm very sure he's preparing himself. And how is he going to explain to the people of America that whatever that has happened in Texas right now, it's that this disaster could not have been avoided? Guys, let's continue watching this video.
Underwater again, families are displaced, homes destroyed, lives upended, and instead of taking responsibility, Republican leaders are back to their favorite sport, the blame game. Yeah, they're pointing their fingers at the National Weather Service, claiming the systems are outdated, that warnings didn't come fast enough, but the truth is, warnings were issued, forecasts were accurate, scientists did their job. You gotta wonder why the system didn't work like it should have. Well, funny thing is, Republicans gutted the funding that keeps it working. Yeah, the same politicians blaming FEMA and NOAA for failing are the ones who voted to cut their budgets. The House passing full-year continuation resolution that reduced non-defense spending, including funding for FEMA and NOAA. Trump's executive order for a funding freeze earlier this year paused federal financial assistance across 2,600 programs and, to no one's surprise, impacted NOAA grants and FEMA disaster aid. Yeah, don't forget those DOGE cuts either, because that affected hundreds of NOAA employees who were terminated or forced out. And FEMA's staffing was reduced by 2,000 employees with internal restructure and leadership shakeups like Gnome, the loudest deflector of the bunch. They're over here handicapping the system and blaming the system they created. That's just not incompetence, it's sabotage. And Texans are paying the price. This isn't the first time. In 2021, they blamed wind turbines for power grid collapse caused by fossil fuel failures. In 2023, they slashed NOAA grants and flood mitigation funds and acted shocked when early warning systems failed to reach rural communities. They cut, they lie, then they blame the scientists. Republicans had their choice, fund disaster preparedness or fund billionaire tax breaks. And they made their choice, and now Texans are wading through the consequences. Don't let them rewrite the story. The failure isn't in the forecast, it's in the follow-through. Texas doesn't need more excuses, it needs leadership.
Today I was hearing Texas officials blaming our National Weather Service, which has been hollowed out by our president's budget cuts, for failing to forecast the storm in Texas that caused flooding. But they're only blaming the service, not the felon who really caused it, because I guess it's Texas? You know they voted for that orange piece of crap with a proper warning from a fully functional weather service that was on the cutting edge of forecasting. 27 people would still be alive, including 9 girls at a summer camp that were swept away by floods in areas that were told to expect only a few inches of rain. Here's what those ignorant Texas inbred hillbillies don't know. The felon slashed hundreds of meteorologists from NOAA and the National Weather Service through Doge because billionaires needed another yacht. Experts have been warning for months, hey, don't do this, don't make these cuts because it would lead to inaccurate forecasts and prevent life-saving evacuations. And now it has, because they're experts, not some toothless maggot with a barometer he bought at Bass. And Texas officials are pointing the finger at the bad forecast? Listen here, Haas. It wasn't a glitch at the Weather Service. It was policy from Washington. The felon promised cutting-edge tech and that competence would save lives. But all they cut was human expertise, and lives are now the price, and it's all on his tiny
little orange hands.
FEMA, the same agency the felon wants to abolish, is cleaning up the mess. And the convict? He's dancing on the White House balcony doing his two-man jerk-off. The only thing he said about it was sad. Yeah. And the Texas rednecks will be okay with that. We were once the gold standard in weather forecasting. Now we're a cautionary tale. Elections have consequences, man. So do budget cuts. And this storm, it didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of
rescues, what have you. Them and the people monitoring or having the resources to monitor what's going on, and the person in the middle who's the meteorologist who is discussing with his people what's occurring and then alerting the region. I know this was a flash overnight downpour, but lives could have been saved if the people had been informed. Boop, boop, boop. This is not a test. This is an emergency warning. You know, floods occur because everybody's on their phone all times of night. So that did not happen. That's all I'm saying. That did not happen. We did not have the emergency alert people inform the public of what was occurring because the meteorologists in that region had been let go. With the first bullshit things that Donald Trump was giving people incentives to retire from key positions that would what? Save our lives.
Oh God, what has hit Texas right now, it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. It's something that could have been avoided. It could have really avoided, like it could have been avoided. And Texas being that state that voted for Trump, the Republican, and I know the policies who are made from Washington, D.C., and having National Weather Service having been decimated, the consequences are dire. You see, we have lost so many people, we have lost properties, there's so many things that have, you can see at what the density of water that has been coming into people's houses. People have lost valuable things in their homes destroyed, properties destroyed because of the weather broadcast. And I know these people, the scientists, did their best. There are ways they could do to mitigate this storm that has caused this flood, but because of the significant amount of money that was cut from that department or organization, that's the reason. You know, these things have been happening. We have seen, and it's the first year of Trump's administration. Like, what else should we be expecting in the coming second year, third year, and fourth year? What are we going to be expecting? We have lost properties. People have died. This is something that would have been avoided. People have died. There's always money set aside for such calamities when they're approaching. You understand? It was overseen. The scientists said it, and the broadcasters said it. They all saw it, but they did not have the funds to mitigate such calamities when they're coming. You understand? We have lost lives. You know, these people could be here with us. They're no more. Property destroyed, like a lot of money. You understand? We have lost young girls who are at the camp. We have just lost them like that, guys. They're no longer with us. And it's very, very sad that there's not even tweet from Trump administration. Is he feeling ashamed of himself that it has happened again? The people, there have been cries all over that you should be not doing this. We have seen him even closing the, you said, you understand? All offices of the USAID were closed across the world. They were closed. No one never cared about it. No one ever cared how it was going to affect families. And now he has turned to his own people in the United States of America. He has been deporting people mercilessly. He has been imposing tariffs on each and everything that came on his way. Like, he has just been receiving advices from people who have money, his billionaire buddies. You understand? He doesn't care about nobody. You understand? Now all the funds that he has been cutting from the Medicare and everything, like, who does that? And now it has hit him so hard that people have died, properties lost, and this is something that you cannot even bring it back again. How are you going to bring those people? Kids, people have lost their friends, relatives. How are you going to bring them back? What are you going to tell them right now? There's nothing. So Trump needs to get back to his senses and know that he promised what he has to work on, what the promises he made for the people of America. He said that he was going to make America great again, putting Americans on this on whatever that is happening right now is not making America great again. It's making America sad. And the people of America right now are sad. They're confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know who they voted. Like, the Marcos supporters are now confused. They don't know who they voted for, you know. Guys, it's really sad, and we are praying for the people of Texas right now. You are in our prayers. We know you've lost your families, you've lost your kids, your cousins, sisters, husbands, and may God restore your happiness. May God see through this hard moment. You know, we are gonna pray together. Find out where your friends are, your relatives, how they're doing. If they're in Texas, if you're in Africa, you have relatives in Texas, you have to give them a call. Find how they are find out how they are doing, so that we may pray together and see where God is going to lead us next. So guys, it's me, Irene So Ita. You are in our prayers. Let me see you in the next video. Bye bye.